One afternoon, I drove an hour from my house and then I stopped, turned around, and drove an hour back home just to get my watch. Not because I had somewhere important to be, not because anyone was going to notice, but because I couldn't leave without it. And I didn't even stop to ask myself, why? Everything you're about to hear is a true story. It was me, all of it, every single part, just not the best part of me. This is the story of how a man can drift so far from himself that he stops recognizing the face in the mirror without ever making a single conscious decision to leave. Let me paint a picture for you. 3, 4 chains at a time, 2 watches, a closet full of Jordans that I barely wore, new clothes every single weekend, luxury cars, VIP sections, stage lights. I punched people in the face on stage in front of thousands. I was visibly angry in every room I walked into. I had to drink just to stay in the building. That was me. I'm not blaming the environment. I'm not calling it a phase. That was genuinely, authentically, completely me. But here's the distinction that I need you to understand, because this is where most people get it wrong when they tell stories like this. I wasn't pretending to be someone I wasn't. I was being someone I was, just the worst possible version of that person. The anger was real. The hunger was real. The need to be seen, completely real. I just had no idea how to be those things without burning everything around me. Your worst self is not a stranger. That's the part nobody says out loud. Your worst self is still you. It knows your voice. It knows your fears. It knows exactly which shortcuts to take. And if you're not paying attention, it will ruin your life and run your life while you're busy just trying to survive it. Here's the thing about becoming your worst self. It doesn't announce itself. There's no moment, there's no decision. There's no morning that you wake up and choose it. It's a drift. It's slow, it's quiet. It's almost invisible. One compromise at a time, one environment shaping you a little bit more than the last. When you surround yourself with a world that rewards a certain version of you, the loud one, the hard one, the one with the chains and the cars and the anger, you don't question it because it's working. The room responds. People move differently around you. And somewhere in that response, you start to believe that this must be who you are. Because who would perform something that nobody asked for? The drift happens in the silence you never take. When you don't sit down, really sit down and ask yourself, who am I right now? Is this actually me? Is this the version of me that I would choose if I were choosing freely? You just become the product of wherever you've been. The environment builds you because you were never bothered to build yourself. I was uncomfortable every single day, not because I was someone else, but because I was myself operating so far below what I was actually capable of that my own body couldn't settle. There's a particular kind of anger that comes from that place. When you are more than what you're showing, but you don't have the language for it yet, when you haven't sat still long enough to even know what more looks like, that's when it happens. So instead, you just stay loud, stay armored, stay moving, because stopping means you might have to look. I didn't have some massive breakthrough and I did hit rock bottom, but I just got quiet. For the first time in a long time, I got quiet. And in that quiet, I started asking questions I had been too busy or too afraid to ask. Who am I when the room isn't watching? What do I actually want? What would the best version of me look like right now? Here's what I found. I still love fashion. That was real. But I didn't need to prove it to anybody. I could buy something from Burlington, Ross, Marshalls, and feel completely fine, if not better. I still loved nice cars, but now I wanted them because I liked them, not because of what they said about me to someone that I've never met before and I'll probably never see again. I found boundaries because once you find peace, anything disturbing it gets an early dismissal. And I remembered something that I had completely buried. I am a creator. I don't care about being in the spotlight. I care about building the thing that the spotlight shines on. The best version of you already exists. It has always existed. It's not somewhere that you're going, that you arrive to. It's somewhere that you keep leaving. And you leave it the same way every time. You get busy, you get loud, you get comfortable, letting the environment do the steering. And you forget to sit down and ask, who's supposed to be driving? So let me ask you something. Not about your chains, not about your cars, not about whatever external thing you've been using to tell the world, I'm doing good. I want to ask you about the silence. When did you last sit down with no phone, no noise, no agenda, and just ask yourself, is this who I really am? Is this the best version of the person I'm capable of being? Because if you can't answer that, you might be drifting, not away from yourself. You never drift away from yourself. You drift into the worst parts of yourself, the parts that know how to survive, but have forgotten how to live. The parts that are genuinely you, just not the best parts of you. You're not behind in life. You have not missed your moment. You just haven't been steering. And the good news is the wheel is still there. It's been there the whole time. All you have to do is sit down, get quiet, and decide which version of yourself you're going to be from here.